Hello, it's Gareth here. I hope you're well. So in this video, I want to talk about how small things can have a big impact. Earlier on this week, there was three things happened to me this week. And earlier on this week, the first thing that happened to me that kind of has driven me to do this video is I have an appliance in my kitchen. Some of you watching this may have. It's called an air fryer. And you know, these are kind of, I've never had one. And then a couple of months ago, we're going back a bit long that maybe. I was visiting my mother. She lives away from me. I was visiting, and she had this thing on her kitchen work surface, which was an air fryer. And she said, I don't use it. I need to get rid of it. And I said, well, I'll have it if you don't want it. I've never had one. I'll give it a go. I thought I'd give it a try. People talk about them, say they're like, you know, miraculous machines. When I used it changed my life. So I've had this basic air fryer. Most things now gets cooked in the air fryer, especially the kind of food I eat. It cooks well in an air fryer. But a couple of days ago, the drawer wouldn't shut. The drawer would not close. I kept putting it in, it would not close. And if it doesn't close, it won't heat. So I thought there might be something wrong with it. It's broken. On further inspection, I noticed that what happened is the tray that you slide in, it has a plastic casing and a metal tray inside. There was a small screw had come out, literally the tiniest of screws had come out there. Now, there's a kind of a grill tray at the bottom of the metal tray, if you've got an air fryer, you know what I'm talking about. And it was underneath that. I'd never noticed it. And it had fallen out at some point, clearly when I'd been cleaning it. Now, that one small screw, the tiniest of screws, not being in place, made the difference of that air fryer working and not. One tiny screw. Okay. Flick forward a couple more days, and I was recording some videos. And I was practicing using the camera and setting it up, and the sound was terrible. It was terrible. It was like mono. You could hear it out of one side of my headphones, because I always test them using these headphones when I record the video to see if the sound's good. And it just sounded terrible. It's never sounded like that before. There must have been something wrong. What was it? And you know, you go through the process of checking the connections and all those kind of things. And I couldn't find anything obvious. And I kind of was thinking maybe the microphones are broken. Maybe I've had them a while. Maybe they're not, you know, they're not working. And you try justifying why something's not working with it. It must be a problem with the gear. Anyway, as I was moving something on my desk, I literally had this, I could see in front of me a small cable. Now, the way this works is I've got a microphone which goes into a mixer. The mixer goes into my camera via a headphone lead, basically. And I noticed the headphone lead, and I looked at it and I thought, there seems to be quite a gap between the headphone lead and the little input that it's going into. And what it was is, if you've got a stereo set of headphones, you have two rings on them. The first, and the two clip in, so the two rings are the two channels, left and right. What happened is the left had gone in, but it wasn't pushed in far enough. So when I pressed the two together, you could hear this little click. Such a small thing, literally a millimetre maybe, that it wasn't in far enough. And then I put that in and boom, the stereo sound comes back. Again, something really tiny that had a big impact. And then finally, this happened this morning. I was getting set up to record this video today, and my camera kept tipping to one side, just tipping to one side. And all it was is literally, if you know what a tripod is, I'm sure some of you have got them, literally the ball head on top of the tripod, the connector wanted twisting, not even a millimetre. It was just slightly loose, and the tiniest tweak, and it was perfect again. So three things there: a small screw, a small click on a headphone socket, and a small twist on a head of a tripod had a big impact. I wanted to say that because one thing I get asked on many occasions by people who are looking to improve themselves, or people I'm working with, is, what can I do next? What big action do we need to take to get to the next level? The reality is, sometimes you don't need to make a big change. You don't have to take big action. Sometimes it's the smallest, tiniest bits of action that make a difference. And the thing when you are taking on something you want to improve, whether that's something personally or professionally, it doesn't matter what it is. There's always kind of a journey you go on. And the first thing that happens when you're trying something for the first time is it'll feel strange. You won't be very good at it. And then you start doing it. And then all of a sudden you have this kind of massive increase in your capability. Your skill level in it goes up really, really quickly. And it's because you've never done it before, and now you're learning it, now you've got some more skills. There's like a big difference in your capabilities. But as you get better at something, as you go further on your personal development journey, your self-improvement journey, the steps you take are much, much smaller, and the advances you make are much, much smaller. And sometimes it's the smallest tweaks that can take you to another level. You know, you may not notice this, you know, if you watch my videos, this might be the first one you've watched, but if you're watching this video, I've got my lights on today. I've got the full lights in the office. I haven't done this for a while, and just a small thing, putting the lights, and I personally think it looks, from what I'm seeing on the camera in front of me, to come up with maybe a nicer video, or is it just a different video? I don't know. But all I look to do as I'm improving myself is I'm not always looking for the big things. They'll come, by the way. You will have moments where you think, oh, that's it, I can make a big advance here with that. In a lot of cases, it's the small, tiny things you're looking for. If you're on a diet right now, if you're trying to lose weight, sometimes it can be the one thing you take out of your diet that can make a huge difference. My partner, Sue, you know, she'd been trying to lose a little bit of weight. I mean, she's not big by any means. She's very, very slim anyway, but she wanted to lose a couple of pounds. She couldn't seem to lose these couple of pounds. And we looked at the food she was eating. It seemed fine, the quantity eating, she said fine. And then we looked at something which was, she drinks a coffee twice a day, and just that coffee twice a day with the milk she puts into it was something we thought, well, that's interesting, maybe we could stop that and tweak it. We just dropped the coffee out, the weight came off in 3 days. It was the smallest thing, literally, the milk in a coffee. Now, this wasn't just a drop, she has milky coffee, so when you looked at it, actually, well, there's quite a lot of carbs she was having there, quite a lot of sugar because it was full-fat milk. The smallest tweak made the difference. So I wanted to put this out here today because I think what people do is they get to a stage where they can't see themselves moving forward, and they think they've plateaued and there's nowhere else to go from it. There always is somewhere else to go, but it could be just a small change you need to make, one small piece of action you need to take, one small tweak you need to make. You know, if all of a sudden, you know, I had a full air fryer that wouldn't work because of one screw, or a sound system on this because of one click, or a camera that won't stand up because of one tiny twist, just shows you how small things can have a big impact. And I want you to bear that in mind. If you are watching my channel, it's because you're wanting to be a better version of yourself. And the journey to become the best version of yourself, it's a long journey, and it involves a lot of small, tiny tweaks. And you're looking for those small things that can make a big difference. And I guarantee in anything you're doing right now, there will be something. There'll be some small tweak you can make that might just make all the difference to your progress. So the next time you feel yourself stuck in anything you're trying to improve or get better at, look for the small tweaks, look for the tiny twists, look for the little screw, the small push, the little tweak. I guarantee it'll be there. And if you find it, you'll move forward. There you go, you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you've liked the video, give it a like. If you don't already subscribe to the channel, please subscribe. And if you don't listen to my podcast, you can listen to it on here now. I'm starting to upload it onto YouTube. So on Monday morning, the next episode of that will be out. And we'll see you again soon for another video. Until then, take care.